What's up, guys? I want to share with you one of the most long-term and consistent strategies to scale your ad account very, very quickly, like we've done it for this brand, for example, to scale to 130K in the last 7 days. As you can see, pretty much consistent 20K days. And so I'm going to talk about something which is called creative diversity. Okay, so this is, I want you guys to imagine something, right? If this is your total addressable market here, so this is every single person that you could potentially market, including every awareness stage, every single angle, every avatar that you kind of target. This is literally everyone. What you have to understand is, let's say you only run, let's say UGC, right? Let's say you rip UGC, let's say you downloaded it from Calidata, and then you basically run it up, you ripped content. Okay, cool, right? The problem why this caps out so quickly and CPMs are so quickly if someone else is doing the same thing is because you don't hit all of these people in your addressable market, but only this small fraction here, right? There's only always so many people that respond positively and basically react, directly respond to that one ad concept. And that is the biggest problem, because if you only target, right, if you only run UGC ads, even you can, to be fair, like you can have 10 avatars, 10 angles, 10 everything, you're still only going to diversify in this small fraction. So this might be an avatar, that might be an avatar, this might be an avatar, that might be an avatar, but you will never diversify more broader into these audience pockets here. And so the way to do this is actually, instead of running UGC concepts, maybe you run VSL concepts. Maybe you start running offer focused image ads. Maybe you start, running, for example, us versus thems, before, afters, right? Any type of ad concept that you can think of and you can imagine, pretty much by doing the research, because what happens is all of these different ad concepts optimize in different audience pockets. And every single audience pocket, what it does basically is it increases the odds that something hits, that you become one of the top spenders in that audience pocket. And so what happens as well, and this is like actually one of the craziest things that happens when it comes to actually applying creative diversity, is that you have to understand that the overall CPM, like you have to, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many assets and campaigns you run, you start to calculate the CPM, or Facebook does that for you. And so you're going to essentially look at the CPM of how many dollars you spent in total to reach 1,000 people on average across all the audience pockets that you optimize into. And so you have to understand that if you only did UGC, for example, and let's say there was a ton of other people doing the same thing, maybe even like ripped the same content, and therefore your CPMs were over $100 and you couldn't scale, you couldn't do anything with it, you couldn't move around, you felt like, okay, well, why doesn't it work, right? That's where you ask yourself. Well, the problem is because all of the competitors, including yourself, tried to diversify within this small fraction of the market that you could have hit here. So what you need to understand is, let's say this is $100 CPM. Let's say this is 20. Let's say this one is 70. Let's say this one is 50. Let's say this one's 40. And so the average, if you have more audience pockets that you optimize into because of this creative diversity, the average CPM goes down. And this is the craziest effect, because once you understand this, once you start applying this in your business, what's going to happen is you start to go from, oh my God, how can I just, get around high CPMs? How can I switch products constantly, to how can I have so many different concepts in my ad account so that I optimize in so many different audience pockets so that the overall average CPM goes down. What happens then, right? If the average CPM is lower, you can invest more money back into Facebook because you're more profitable, and essentially you can become one of the top spenders in this UGC audience pocket. And when you are, and this is the crazy part, even this CPM is going to go down. And so this is how you outscale anyone. This is where this creative diversity starts compounding. And so from now on, if you're launching anything new, it doesn't matter if it's a new hook test, a new product, a new brand that you launch, any type of way of trying to get an ad account to scale as quickly as possible, I want you guys to keep this in mind. This was not a super long video, but it's really important because I feel like this is not talked about enough on ecom YouTube. Anyways, I want to say thank you so much for giving me your most important asset, which is your attention. Thank you for watching. I wish you a beautiful day.